You have to be a Hindu to go in. You have to be born in a Hindu family in India. So the temples in that part of India, they're very conservative. They don't allow foreigners in. Okay, so Lord Caitanya, he stayed the night there at the Alanath temple, and in the morning he said goodbye to all the devotees who had come with him, and he told them, you go back to Jagannath Puri.
所以陈太妈妈她就在这个庙待了住了一个晚上，第二天早上她就离开，然后她让这些跟她一起来的奉献者都说你们都留在加gannath puri。
So he embraced them, and then he turned and then he left to start on his tour to South India.
然后他就离开他们，然后开始了他的南印度之旅。
And then they all fainted, they all fell on the ground because they did not like to see Lord Caitanya go away and leave them.
然后这些奉献人他们都昏倒在地，因为他们不想能够离开他们。
But Lord Caitanya didn't care, he just kept walking, he didn't come back to see them.
但是陈太妈妈她就不在乎，她接着朝前走，也没有回头再看他们。
So Lord Caitanya left and he went with the Brahmana Krishnadas. Krishnadas carried the water pot for Lord Caitanya.
陈太妈妈她就离开了，然后 Krishnadas 为她拿着她的水泵和衣服。
So the devotees, they were there, they stayed there in Alanath one more night and they fasted. And then next day, then they went back to Jagannath Puri.
然后这些其他的奉献者，他们就在阿拉哈曼巴的庙，然后又住了一天，然后第二天他们也返回了加gannath puri。
So Lord Caitanya was in ecstasy because he's traveling and he's doing Sankirtan. Although he's just him and one other person, Lord Caitanya was chanting the holy name and dancing in ecstasy.
陈太妈妈她住在极度的狂喜之中，因为她也一直在又唱又跳，在做 kirtan。虽然她只有一个同伴和她在一起。
What do you think he was chanting? How would he chant? What would he chant? Anybody know? 他念什么曼陀罗？
哦，他念的什么曼陀罗？他唱诵的是什么曼陀罗 ？Krishna Krishna 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 Krishna.
Yes, very good. Sing some more. You know the next line?
Krishna 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 Rama Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Sama.
非常好。你是谁？谁唱？ Who is singing?
Saradia.
Saradia was singing. Okay.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, so Lord Caitanya was chanting like that. And whenever he saw someone, he would say, Hari, Hari. And what would they say back to him? They would also say, Hari, Hari. So Lord Caitanya would become very happy when they chanted the holy name. Sometimes Lord Caitanya would embrace people.
有时候可能让他会拥抱人们。
And he would tell them to go home. He would embrace them and give them spiritual potency and tell them to go home and get the people at home to chant.
他就拥抱他们，给他们灵性的能量，让他们回去，然后让他们也请别人唱诵主的圣言。
So after Lord Caitanya had embraced someone, then they would go back to their village and they would get the whole village to chant.
当他们拥抱了某个人的话，那个人如果回到那个村子里，他会让整个村子的人都唱诵圣言。
People would become mad in ecstasy of love of Krishna.
人们都会因为对 Krishna 的狂喜的爱变得不狂了。
So whenever he saw anyone, he would tell them, chant the holy name of Krishna.
然后不管碰到谁，都会告诉他们也唱诵 Krishna 的圣言。
So all the villages, all the people in the villages became devotees of Krishna.
所以所有村庄的村民们都成为 Krishna 的奉献者。
And then people from the other village, they would come to see, and they would also become devotees.
当这变成奉献的村庄的然后别的村的人来到这个村子的话，他们也会变成奉献者。
So this way, in this way, the whole place, the whole country became devotees.
就这样，整个国家的这些人们都成了奉献者。
All the people of South India, they all became devotees.
连所有南印度的人都成了奉献者。
All the people became Vaishnavas. And whenever they saw Lord Caitanya, they would be embraced, he would embrace them.
不管他们什么时候见到成天马可布，成天马可布都会拥抱他们。
Lord Caitanya is walking, so he walked through many villages. And every village he would have to beg some alms. He would beg some vegetable, some rice, so he could eat.
成天马可他有时候会去到村子，然后去到村子，他就会去祈求布施，祈祷一些蔬菜呀等等。
So many people heard about this sannyasi who's coming. So they would all come, they all wanted to get the blessing of the sannyasi.
人们都会纷纷过来，请求得到这个三尼亚西的祝福。
So this is the mercy of Lord Caitanya, that everyone could become a devotee.
这是成天马可布的仁慈，每个人都可以成为奉献者。
So Lord Caitanya traveled like this, all the way from Jagannath Puri, all the way down to the very south part of India, and converted everybody to Vaishnava.
成天马可就这样一路从加格兰普里旅行到南印度的每个地方，然后让沿途所有的人都成为奉献者。
He never did this in Navadvip, but he did it in South India.
他在南部对法并没有这样做，但是他在南印度却这么做了。
Prabhupada explains that some places are better to preach than others.
他们的解释说，有一些地方是更容易传教的。
Some places, Prabhupada said, just like he was preaching in India, he couldn't get any result.
像他们说，他在印度传教的时候，他并没有得到任何的结果，他这样没有任何的结果。
But when he went to America, he got results.
但是他去到美国的时候，然后就非常成果斐然。
So Prabhupada said we should go where we can get some result.
Sorry, Mama.
We should go to preach when we want to choose a place to go to preach. We should pick a place where we can get some result, where the people will be interested.
爸爸呢，就是如果我们去到一个地方传教的话，我们应该选择一个地方，就是能够得到结果，就是能够让人们唱诵圣言接受的地方。
You go to some places, some parts of the world, you go, people are not interested.
有一些地方，有一些世界上有一些地方，人们根本就不感兴趣。
So we don't need to waste our time. We have to go to places where you get some result.
所以我们应该不要浪费我们的时间，然后我们应该去到那些人们感兴趣的地方，得到一些结果。
So wherever Lord Caitanya went, he did like this. He was traveling everywhere, he was chanting the holy name, and he would get people to chant the holy name.
所以查那无论他去到哪里，他都会就是唱诵圣名，然后也让人们唱诵圣名。
So then Lord Caitanya left Jagannath Puri, he went to Alanath, and he came further south, and they came to a holy place called Kurma Kshetra.
跟他妈妈在南印度旅行的时候，他就去到一个地方叫 Kurma Kshetra。
Who knows what kurma is? What's the form of kurma?
Kurma 它是什么形体？有人回答吗 ？Kurma 是什么形体？龟 ，Lotus。乌龟。
Huh?
Lotus。乌龟。
Okay. Okay, yeah. Kurma, the turtle, yeah? So, there's a temple, famous temple there. And Lord Caitanya saw the deity, he offered prayers and obeisances to Kurma, Lord Kurma Kshetra. This temple is taken care of by the Ramanuja Vaishnavas. It's an ancient temple. It's, I think, maybe 1,000 years old. Because Ramanuja came there and he developed it. It was already there. When Ramanuja first came there, he thought it was a Shiva temple. But then he found out it wasn't Shiva, the deity wasn't Shiva, he found out it was Kurma. So Ramanuja was very happy that it was a deity of Lord Vishnu, one of the incarnations of Lord Vishnu. So Ramanuja developed the puja there, made a nice temple. So when Lord Caitanya was at this place, he was also very happy to see the deity and to chant and dance. So if Lord Caitanya was chanting and dancing, and people came, everybody, local people, all came to see him. And just by seeing Lord Caitanya, they became devotees, and they also began to chant Krishna's name. And they would raise their arms up in the air, and they would chant, Hare, Hare. Did you all raise your arm? Did you put your arms up in the air? Put your hands up in the air?
大家都举起双臂，然后举在空中，一起唱诵。
Right, dash. Yes, dash on the shore. Hari Hari.
Hari Hari. Hari Hari. Hari Hari. Hari Hari.
You're all in ecstasy now. Everybody in ecstasy. Chanting the holy name, everyone became a Vaishnava. And the holy name filled the ears of all the people. The holy name filled the ears of all the people. So then the priest came, the priest from the deity gave Lord Caitanya some prasadam and some offerings. So there was one village nearby to the temple, and there was a brahmana there whose name was Kurma. And he invited Lord Caitanya to come to his house. So right, we have some Kurmas in our Hare Krishna temple, in the Krishna movement. We have Kurma Das, a Prabhupada disciple, and we have many Kurmas. So this Brahmana brought Lord Caitanya to his home and washed his feet, and all of his family came and they all drank the water which washed his feet. Lord Caitanya not wearing any shoes. He's a sannyasi, just walking barefoot. So his feet will be... His feet will be all mud. And so the custom is to wash the feet. And sometimes that water which washes the feet, you can put a few drops on the head of people. But this Brahmana was very devoted, and the family, they all drank the water which washed Lord Chaitanya's feet. So the Kurma Brahman fed Lord Caitanya. He and his wife had prepared a big meal for Lord Caitanya. And after Lord Caitanya took food, then the family, they took the remnants of Lord Chaitanya's prasadam. So then the Brahmana began to pray to Lord Caitanya. He said, "Oh, you've come to my home. I'm very fortunate. Your lotus feet have entered into my home."
这个 Brahman 呢就说，你来到了我的家，然后我非常的幸运，你的莲花足踏入了我的家中。
I'm so fortunate.
我是如此的幸运。
My family, my birth, my wealth have all been glorified today by your presence here.
由于你的临在，我的家人、我的财富、我的所有的一切、我的家都变得荣耀了。
So then the Brahmana said to Lord Caitanya, "Please be merciful to me and take me with you. I want to go with you."
然后这个 Brahman 就向长良妈妈请求说，请对我仁慈，说请带我跟你一起走吧。
I cannot tolerate materialistic life anymore. It's so miserable, so much suffering. I want to leave my family, go with you.
他说我再也不能忍受这个物质主义的生活了，所以他说我这里充满了痛苦，所以请带我一起走吧。
So sometimes we also feel like that, devotees, we feel that, oh, I'm suffering so much, this material world.
我们有时候也会有同样的感受，作为奉献者，我感觉这个物质世界充满了痛苦。
So what should we do? Should we just leave the family?
那我们是不是就是离开家吗？
Well, you have to consider what is your age. If you're a young man, you cannot just leave the family.
要考虑一下自己的年龄。如果你是年轻人的话，不能就这样就离开了。
But if you're 50 or over, then you can go to forest and live in Vrindavan.
但是如果你是50岁或者超过50岁，这样的话，你就可以离开家，然后去到Vrindavan，住在森林里。
That's for the men, not for the women.
这是男士，女士不能这么做。
Yeah, we don't let the women come and live here in Vrindavan.
我们不推荐女士这样去住到Vrindavan。
Women have to stay at home, be taken care of by their family.
女士必须待在家里，然后有家人来照顾。
Anyway, this man, we're not told how old this man is. This man Kurma.
这边没有提到这个Kurma Brahmana，他到底10多万年历。
But Lord Caitanya said to him, "Don't speak like that again."
但是这妈妈跟他说，不要再这么说了。
Lord Caitanya.
静一下音吧，就直接打开麦。大家请让自己的麦克风打到静音，好不好？Okay, please continue.
Okay, Lord Chaitanya said, "Better you stay at home and chant the holy name of Krishna."
跟他妈妈说，最好你是留在家里，唱诵 Hare Krishna 到麦克风。
It's not good thing to suddenly just leave home.
就是突然离开家，并不是件好事情。
You can prepare for leaving home gradually,
为离开家庭做准备。
but not before the age of 50.
但是在50岁之前不能离开家。
And husband can take the wife with him.
然后丈夫可以带着妻子和他一起。
So Lord Chaitanya told the Brahmana that you should follow the order of Krishna.
他们就告诉对Kurma Brahmana 说，你应该听从Krishna 的命令。
The orders of Krishna are given in the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam. You have to follow these teachings.
规程的命令是在国家梵歌和国家法坛中给出的，你应该去听从追随这些训示。
And you should become a spiritual master and try to liberate everyone.
你应该成为灵性导师，然后努力的去拯救每个人。
You may not have to give initiation, but you can give instruction.
你可能不一定非要给人启迪，但是你可以给人训示。
So everyone's supposed to do that.
每个人都应该这么做。
And Lord Caitanya told the Brahmana, if you follow this instruction, then you will make advancement.
阿弥陀佛就告诉这个 Brahmana 说，如果你听从这个训示的话，你就会取得进步。
And you will always have my association.
你就会一直处在与我的联谊之中。
So you have to understand what is your duty.
所以你必须要理解你的职责是什么。
So Lord Caitanya would often go to people's homes to take prasadam, and he would always preach like this to them.
就会经常去到人家里，然后在那里供养菩萨的，然后这样向人们传教。
He would tell them, you don't need to leave home, just stay at home.
他就会告诉人们说，你不需要离开家，只是留在家里，住在家里。
But he told, Yari deki tarikaho Krishna upadesh, amara gai guru hana tare desh. Lord Caitanya told the man, wherever you go and whoever you meet, tell them about Krishna.
那他就告诉这个 Brahmana 说，不管你去到哪里，不管你见到谁，你要向他们讲述 Krishna。
So when we follow the teachings of Krishna like this, then we will make spiritual progress. We'll become also spiritual master.
如果我们这样做的话，我们就会取得灵性的进步，然后其实就是成为了灵性导师。
So Lord Caitanya, wherever he went, he would accept food. People would give him food, and he would tell them the same thing he told the Brahmana Kurma.
所以无论他去到哪里，在谁家荣耀菩萨，他就会像他对 Kurma 对 Brahmana 所说的一样，去给出他的训示。
Wherever you go, whoever you meet, tell them about Krishna.
不管你去哪里，不管你遇到谁，要向他们告诉他们关于 Krishna 的讯息。
And in this way you become the guru.
这样的话，你就会成为灵性导师 Guru。
So it's a very important, very famous instruction.
所以这是一个非常重要的、非常著名的的一个训示。
Okay, so Lord Caitanya then so when Lord Caitanya left the Kurma Brahman's home, the Brahmana followed him, but Lord Caitanya would send him back. He said, you go home. You don't follow me. You should go home, stay at home.
跟他离开这个 Kurma Brahmana 的家的时候呢，这个 Kurma Brahmana 他就跟随着跟他说，你不要跟着我，你要留在家里。
So then there was another Brahmana there also, whose name was Vasudev. And he had, and he had leprosy in his body. And his body had worms living in it.
身上都就是生了那个蛆虫一样，蛆虫。
And if a worm would fall out from his body, he would put it back in again.
如果这个蛆虫啊从他的身上掉了下来，王斯蒂瓦达塔会把这个蛆虫再放回原处。
So he was a very advanced Brahmana, although he had this disease.
虽然他患了麻风病，但是他其实是一个非常精进的 Brahmana。
So this Brahmana heard about Lord Caitanya, and he came to try to meet Lord Caitanya.
所以这个 Brahmana 他就听说了Caitanya Mahaprabhu，所以他就想要去见Caitanya Mahaprabhu。
But when the Brahmana came there to the home of Kurma, where Lord Caitanya was staying, Lord Caitanya had already gone. He'd left.
但是当那个王斯蒂瓦达塔去见Caitanya Mahaprabhu的时候呢，Caitanya Mahaprabhu已经离开了。
So when Vasudeva heard Lord Chaitanya's gone, he fainted, he fell down.
然后王斯蒂瓦达塔听说Caitanya Mahaprabhu已经离开了，他就晕倒在地。
And while the Brahmana Vasudeva was still lamenting that he could not see Lord Chaitanya, just then Lord Chaitanya returned and he came back, and then he saw the Brahmana there on the floor.
所以当王斯蒂瓦达塔他为不能见到Caitanya Mahaprabhu而悲伤不已的时候呢，Caitanya Mahaprabhu突然又返回来了。
So Lord Chaitanya saw the Brahmana there and he touched him. And as soon as Lord Chaitanya touched him, all the leprosy and the disease in his body, it all disappeared. And his body became very strong and very good looking.
然后Caitanya Mahaprabhu就触碰了这个王斯蒂瓦达塔，然后他一触碰到他，王斯蒂瓦达塔他身上的所有的这些麻风病啊，全都消失了，所以他就变得非常非常的俊美。
So the Brahmana was really amazed. He saw that the disease had gone. So he began to offer a prayer from the Bhagavatam.
然后王斯蒂瓦达塔他就非常惊讶，突然他的疾病麻风病就消失不见了，然后他就从供奉了就是一个佛家瓦门中的一个世界，演诵了这个世界。
Very nice prayer from the words of Sudama Brahman when Krishna embraced him.
这是苏达玛利瓦，这个 Brahmana 他见的当 Krishna 拥抱他的时候，他所演诵的一个祷文。
So Sudama said, "Who am I? A poor, sinful friend of a Brahmana. I'm not a Brahmana, I'm a friend of a Brahmana."
然后苏达玛就说：“我是谁呢？我是一个罪恶的、可怜的、贫穷的 Brahmana 的朋友。我不是 Brahmana， 我是 Brahmana 的朋友。”
And who is Krishna? He's the Supreme Lord. He's Bhagavan with all the 6 opulences.
Krishna 是谁呢？他是巴格曼，是至尊人的守神，拥有6项富余的至尊人守神。
But he's so merciful. With his 2 arms, he has embraced me.
但是他是如此的仁慈，他用他的双臂拥抱了我。
So this is like this Brahmana Vasudeva saw his body was changed. So he told Lord Chaitanya, he said, "Oh, now I'm very worried." He said, "Because I've become proud that I've received your mercy, you've cured me, so I may become proud."
然后这个曾经患过麻风病的 Vasudeva Datta 呢，他就向Caitanya Mahaprabhu说：“他说，因为你拥抱了我，然后让我变得如此的俊美，我担心我会骄傲。”
So Lord Chaitanya told the Brahmana, "So what you have to do, you have to constantly chant the Hare Krishna mantra."
Caitanya Mahaprabhu 就是说，你要做什么呢？你必须恒常的诵 Hare Krishna Maha Mantra。
And you also have to hear about Krishna's pastimes and how Krishna.
你还要去听关于Krishna 的下午之光。
So that if you chant all the time, and if you always tell people about Krishna and the glories of Krishna, then you'll never become proud.
如果你恒常的唱诵正念，然后不断的向人们去讲述 Krishna 的荣耀的话，你永远都不会变得骄傲。
And Krishna will accept you as his devotee.
Krishna 会把你接受为他的奉献者。
So after Lord Caitanya gave instruction to Vasudeva, then Lord Caitanya disappeared from that place.
然后当禅师拉巴布给了 Vasudeva 这个训示之后，他就从那个地方消失了。
So the two brahmanas, Kurma and Vasudeva, they are left alone without Lord Caitanya. They embrace each other and begin to cry.
然后 Vasudeva 和那个 Kurma 这两个 brahmana 他们就看到禅师拉巴布离开了他们，他们就剩下独自一人，他们就互相拥抱，然后开始哭泣起来。
So Lord Caitanya saved Vasudeva from that disease.
当禅师治愈了Vasudeva 的这个麻风病的时候。
So Lord Caitanya got a special name for that pastime.
因为这个下午时光，菩提拉伯就得到了一个特别的名字。
So I said, everybody who hears the pastimes of Lord Caitanya like this, you'll very soon get the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Caitanya.
任何人如果听到禅师拉伯的这个下午时光的话，很快就会得到禅师拉伯莲花组的庇护。
Okay, so then, after Lord Caitanya had visited the temple of Kurmakshetra, then he went. Then he went to see famous deity of Lord Nrsimha.
然后他去拜见非常著名的一个女星和神像。
The place is called the Jayada Nrsimha.
那个地方叫 Jayada Nrsimha。
So this was this temple of Jayada Nrsimha. It's near to Vishakhapatnam, town called Vishakhapatnam.
这有一个镇子叫 Vishakhapatnam 这个地方，这个庙就在这个镇附近。
And the deity is always covered in sandalwood.
然后这个女性神像呢，总是涂着檀香浆。
So when Lord Caitanya came to the temple, what's he going to chant?
当达赖喇嘛他去到这个庙的时候，他唱的什么呢？
He has to chant to the deity.
要唱就是神像的祷文。
Shri Nrsimha, Jai Nrsimha, Jai Jai Nrsimha, Praladesha, Jayapada, Mukha Padma Bringa. Right? This is how we sing at the temple at Vishakhapatnam.
这是Vishakhapatnam这个庙，我们就可以唱这个对主女性上的祷文。
So Lord Caitanya is singing these songs to Lord Nrsimhadev. He's coming to see the deity of Lord Nrsimhadev, so he sings a song glorifying Lord Nrsimha.
所以在禅院妈妈母他觐见主女性的神像的时候，他就唱诵这个主女性的一首祷文。
Ugropi anugram evayam swabhaktanam narekeshari kesharaiva swapotanam Anyishammugra Vikramaha Shri Nrsinga Jai Nrsinga Jai Jai Nrsinga Praladesha Jayapada Mukha Padma Bringa. So although Lord Nrsinga is very ferocious, a lion is very ferocious, but still very kind to their own cubs.
虽然格林真卡就是一个狮子，虽然非常的凶猛，但是他对他的幼崽却非常的仁慈。
So this Lord Nrsingadev is very ferocious to Hiranyakashipu, but very kind to Prahlad Maharaj.
所以格林真卡他对Hiranyakashipu就是非常凶残的，但是对普拉达玛人却非常的仁慈。
So Lord Chaitanya went to see the deity, and the priest brought flower garlands and prasadam offered to Lord Chaitanya.
然后他拉玛就去拜见那个神像，那个神像的祭司呢，就给了他拉玛布神像的菩萨的花环。
And a Brahman invited Lord Chaitanya come to his house and take prasadam.
那婆罗门他就邀请扎达拉玛去到他的家里，然后要菩萨的。
So Lord Chaitanya then continues to go on.
那扎达拉玛就继续他的南印度之旅。
And then gradually came to the place of where the river Godavari is flowing.
后来他就去到了哥达巴瑞河流淌的地方。
Right? When we take a bath, we chant the names of all the holy rivers.
当我们就是在沐浴的时候，我们会唱诵所有圣的这些名字。
So Lord Chaitanya saw the Godavari and he thought, well, he remembered the Yamuna. And he saw the... And he saw there's some forest at the side of the river, it was just like Vrindavan. So Lord Chaitanya took his bath in the holy river. And he was chanting the holy name. And so at that time, then a group of people all came, and there was music being played. There was a big procession, and somebody was being carried on a palanquin. Some important person was coming on a palanquin to take bath in the river. So many brahmanas were following, and in the palanquin was Ramananda Rai. So Ramananda Rai took his bath and offered made oblations to his forefathers for their benefit. So Lord Chaitanya had heard about Ramananda Rai. Who had told Lord Chaitanya about Ramananda Rai? Anybody remember? Yes? Who? She?
Acharya.
Yes, right. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Yeah. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, when you go to South India, this is very, very great devotee. He's an important government officer. His name is Ramananda Rai.
萨拉巴马巴帕传染到主产台马姆。当你去到南印度的时候，那里有一个非常伟大的贡献人，他的名字叫 Ramananda Roy， 他是一个正德官员。
So Lord Caitanya was very anxious to meet this Ramananda Roy.
所以产台妈妈他就非常急切的想要见到 Ramananda Roy。
And Ramananda Roy, when he saw there's a sannyasi there bathing in the river, he also came to see the sannyasi. He wants to offer his respects to the sannyasi.
当 Ramananda Roy 看到一个 sannyasi 在河中沐浴的时候，他也过来向那个 sannyasi 致敬，向他礼拜。
So when Ramananda Roy saw Lord Caitanya was like, he was so effulgent, he was like 100 suns.
当 Ramananda Roy 看到产台妈妈的时候，看到产台妈妈像100万个月太阳的光芒。
Right, he's in the saffron dress, the cloth of the sannyasi, and he's got a big body, he's very big size body and very strong.
产台妈妈她非常高啊，非常强壮的，然后穿着她的sannyasi的那个sannyasi的服饰非常俊美。
How old is he? Do you remember?
大家还记得产台妈妈这时候多大年龄吗？24. Here the book is like 24.
Yes, right, 24, right. So Ramananda Roy came, he saw the sannyasi, he fell down on the ground, offered full obeisances to him.
Ramananda Roy 他看到了 sannyasi， 他就五体投地的向那位 sannyasi 顶拜。
And Lord Caitanya told him, get up and chant the holy name of Krishna. And Lord Caitanya was actually eager to want to embrace him. So he asked him, are you Ramananda Roy? He said, yes, I am that. I am your very low servant. He said, I am from the Sudra community, family. Our family is Sudra. But Lord Caitanya came forward and he embraced him very firmly. And they were both feeling so much love, they almost fell unconscious, they almost fainted. They had natural love for each other. Of course, who is Lord Caitanya? Who is he in the spiritual world?
Krishna and Radharani being combined together.
Yes, right. Right. And who is Ramananda Roy?
Ramananda Roy is谁呢？ Vishaka.
Yes, Vishaka, right.
Vishaka 是的，不错。
Vishaka is a very dear friend of Radharani.
Vishaka 是 Radharani 非常亲爱的朋友。
So when they both embraced each other, they were in so much ecstasy and they were chanting the holy name of Krishna.
所以当他们彼此拥抱的时候，他们感受到非常强烈的爱，他们唱诵了 Krishna 的圣名。
Their bodies were shivering and trembling, their hair was on end, They were shedding
然后他们
tears.
身体颤抖，毛发直竖，泪如雨下。
So there was, Ramananda Rai had come there with many brahmanas, and these brahmanas were, you know, they were not really devotees, they were materialistic brahmanas.
然后呢，当然开始有很多 brahmana 陪同着的，但是这些 brahmana 他们并不是真正的奉献者。
They were following the Vedas, but they were not following it like what we follow it.
那当然，他们也遵守北达经，但是他并不像我们这样去遵循北达经。
So when they saw Ramananda Rai and Lord Caitanya embraced like that, they were surprised. They thought, wow, look, this is unusual.
当他们看到Ramananda Rai和禅让马虎这样彼此拥抱的时候，他们就觉得非常的惊讶，然后他们想，哎，他们竟然这样拥抱。
They thought, you know, this sannyasi, how he can embrace Ramananda Rai? Ramananda Rai is a fourth-class person. He's a Sudra. And this Brahmana is, he's from the high, he's a Brahmana. So how is it he can embrace him?
分享，那然后是因为是sannyasi是属于高阶层的，但是是个 brahmana， 但是Ramananda Rai他这个Sudra是低阶层的第4阶层。那想一个sannyasi怎么能去拥抱一个 Sudra 呢？
Because they're very attached to the bodily conception of life. They're thinking Brahmana high class, Sudra low class.
所以他们非常依附这种躯体化的、物质化的躯体概念，所以他认为是 Sudra 是低的，然后 Brahmana 婆罗门是高的。
But devotee doesn't think like that. Devotee think everybody's equal.
奉献者不这么认为，奉献者也是同人，就认为众生平等的。
A Brahmana is a part of Krishna, and the Sudra also is a part of Krishna.
Brahmana 婆罗门是Krishna的一部分，然后 Sudra 同样是Krishna的一部分。
And Ramananda Rai, although he was in a Sudra family, born in a Sudra family, he was highly educated, and the king had made him the governor of Madras.
所以Ramananda Rai他出生于Sudra的家庭，但是他却受过非常良好的教育，所以这国王呢就让他成为了一个官员。
He said this Ramananda Rai is actually, he's very learned, and he's a very big scholar of the scriptures.
Ramananda Rai 他其实是非常的博学，他是经典的一个对经典非常的博学的。
But after touching this sannyasi, he's become like a madman.
但是他看到一旦触碰到这个sannyasi呢，他就变得像一个疯子一样。
So Lord Caitanya could understand what these brahmanas were all thinking. So he controlled himself.
禅让马虎他知道这些 brahmana 他们在想什么，所以他就控制了自己的情感。
And he told Ramananda Rai, he said, better if you can come back alone in the evening. We can talk in private.
他就告诉 Ramananda Rai 说，最好晚上你能够独自一人再回来，然后这样的话我们可以在私下里交谈。
And Lord Caitanya told Ramananda Rai, he said, you know, the Bhattacharya told me about your good qualities, and he told me I should meet you.
然后我就告诉 Ramananda Rai 说 ，Bhattacharya 他曾经告诉我你的好品质，他告诉我也应该来见你。
So I came here just so I could meet you.
我非常幸运能够很快就见到你。
Yeah, without making any effort, Krishna arranged that you came here and I'm here and we could meet.
然后 Krishna 安排你来到这里，刚好我也在这里，然后我们就这样相见了。
So Ramananda Roy says, oh, that Bhattacharya, he thinks of me as his servant. He thinks I'm his servant. Anyway, by his mercy, I've been able to meet you. Lord Chaitanya says, or Ramananda Roy says, by his mercy, I have met. So I'm very fortunate. It's been my lucky day. And I know you give mercy. Ramananda Roy says to Lord Chaitanya, I know you give special mercy to the Bhattacharya. And today also you've touched me. Although people shouldn't touch me, I'm untouchable. I'm a low class person. Ramananda Roy tells Lord Chaitanya, you are the Lord, you are Narayan. I'm only a government servant. I'm just a worker. I'm the lowest person. So, but by your embracing me, you may get a bad reputation. Because you have embraced me, you may get a bad reputation because I'm low class and you're very high class. Yeah, sannyasi is not meant to mix with, they're not meant to give association to Sudras. But by your mercy you touch me. But according to the Vedas, you shouldn't have touched me. But you've come here to give me mercy and to deliver me. And I know that's why you go to people's houses. You have no other business in going to their home only to give them Krishna consciousness. So sometimes devotees will do like that. They'll go to the homes of the householders and try to give them Krishna consciousness. He doesn't go to their home for his benefit. He's not going to get anything for himself. He's going to give them benefit. So Ramananda Roy told Lord Chaitanya, he said, I've come here with about 1,000 men, including the Brahmanas. I said, I think they've all been purified just by seeing you. Everybody's chanting the holy name. Everyone's very happy. They're in ecstasy.
每个人都在狂喜当中，都非常高兴。
Ramananda Roy tells Lord Caitanya, said, from your features and your behavior, I can understand you must be the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Ramananda 就告诉他们说，通过看你的相貌，通过看你的行为举止，我可以了解到你就是至尊的守神。
No ordinary person could be like you.
没有任何普通人能够会像你这样。
So then Lord Caitanya replies to Ramananda Roy. And Lord Caitanya tells him, you're the best devotee. Just by seeing you, I've become purified. Lord Caitanya said, I'm a Mayavadi sannyasi, I'm not a devotee. But I still have love of Krishna. Simply by touching you, I have love of Krishna. But the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya knew about this, and this is why he told me to meet you. So in this way, you know, Ramananda Roy was praising Lord Caitanya, Lord Caitanya was praising Ramananda Roy. So while they were talking like this, a Brahmana came, a devotee Brahmana came, and he offered obeisances, and he asked Lord Caitanya to come and take lunch at his place. So Lord Caitanya saw that this Brahmana is a devotee, so he thought, yeah, okay, I'll come there. But first he spoke to Ramananda Roy, he told Ramananda Roy that I want to hear about Lord Krishna from you. So I want you to come and meet me again. So Ramananda Roy asked Lord Caitanya, he said, you please stay here for 5 or 7 days and we can meet and we will talk about Krishna. So in this way, Lord Caitanya and Ramananda Roy separated. And Lord Caitanya went to the Brahmins and took his lunch. And then in the evening, Ramananda and Roy and Lord Caitanya were to meet again. So this time Ramananda Roy came with only one servant. Lord Caitanya didn't want him to bring all the Brahmanas with him again. So they began to talk about Krishna. So Lord Caitanya asked Ramananda Roy, he said, tell me a verse from the scriptures about the goal of life.
他说你从经典中告诉我一个师姐，就是生命的目标是什么？
So Ramananda Rai immediately said, well, if you follow the duties of Varnashram, that will give you Krishna consciousness, that will help you to get Krishna consciousness.
然后呢，也就是说，如果你遵循 Varna Ashram 制度、四社会阶层、四灵性境界制度的话，这样的话，你就会帮助你得到 Krishna 知觉。
So Lord Chaitanya said, well, first of all, Ramananda Rai quotes the full verse, and he says that there's no other way to satisfy Krishna. You must follow the Varnashram.
首先，然后呢，要有个引述讲师节，说没有，除非一个人遵循 Varna Ashram 制度，否则的话，他没有办法去满足 Krishna。
By worshipping Vishnu, we want Lord Vishnu, we worship Vishnu by following the Varnashram, by doing our duties according to the Varna and Ashram.
我们崇拜 Vishnu 是通过我们遵循 Varna Ashram 的制度，履行我们在 Varna Ashram 中的职责来崇拜 Vishnu。
Yeah, if you're a brahmachari, you follow all the duties of the brahmachari, then it's very pleasing to Lord Krishna.
如果你是个 brahmachari， 因为遵守生的话，你应该履行遵守生的所有的职责，这样的话会非常喜悦 Krishna。
Or if you're a brahmana, or kshatriya, vaishya sudra, you do your duty, you do it properly and for the pleasure of Krishna.
如果你是brahmana、vaishya、sudra 或者其他的，不管你是什么身份、什么阶层，你履行自己的职责，这样的话都会取悦 Krishna。
There are duties, there are different duties for people in each varna and ashram.
所以，不同的社会阶层和不同的灵性境界的人们，他们都有不同的职责要去履行。
We have to follow the duties.
我们要去遵循这些职责，履行这些职责。
And if you do them properly, then Krishna is pleased.
如果你能够很恰当的履行这个职责的话， Krishna 就会被喜悦。
So Ramananda Rai said this is the ultimate perfection of life.
人们来说，这是生命的终极的完美。
But Lord Chaitanya said, he said this is only external.
这个让这只是外在的。
Tell me some better, other way.
你告诉我更好的途径。
Something better than Varnashram. Varnashram, that's just only, what we see. It doesn't show the real mood of a person.
Varna Ashram 它只是外在的，是我们表面上看到的，但是你告诉我更好的，能够展示出内在的那种内在的轻快的。
So then Lord Chaitanya says, tell me some other way.
然后禅师们就说：“你告诉我其他的途径。”
So this time Ramananda Roy says, offer the results of one's work to Krishna.
然后呢，这次就说，把自己工作的成果供奉给Krishna，献给Krishna。
This is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita.
这在国家梵歌中有提到。
Yad karoshi, yaj asnasi, yaj chahosi dadasi, yad tapashyasi kuntiya, tat kurushva mad arpanam. All that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all austerities you may perform, do them as an offering to me, Krishna. Offering to Krishna.
就是国家梵歌中的师姐说到。 不管你吃什么，不管你做什么，不管你不吃什么，不管你做什么苦行，这一切都应该作为对我的供奉而去做。
So to follow Varnashram in the Kali Yuga, that's very difficult.
在卡利年代去完全的遵循 Varna Ashram 制度是非常困难的。
So Lord Caitanya did not accept. When Ramananda Roy said follow Varnashram, Lord Caitanya said give some other way.
所以当 Ramananda Roy 说到 Varna Ashram 制度的时候，然后Ramananda Roy 就没有接受，说你提一些其他的途径。
So Ramananda Roy gave this verse from the Bhagavad Gita.
然后Ramananda Roy 就说出了 Bhagavad Gita 就是圣灵不要看当中的这个世界。
Which chapter?
是哪一章？谁回答刚才那个世界是哪一章？无论你吃什么，无论你吃什么，做什么，不吃什么，做什么苦行，都应该供奉给我。9章27节。9 chapter 9.
Yes.
27, verse 27.
Okay, yes, 9:27.
Sandini Mata said.
Who?
Sandini Mata said.
Oh, really? Very good.
非常好。
Okay, so try to offer the results of our work to Krishna.
对，把我们工作的结果献给 Krishna。
And at the same time, you remain in your position. You follow the Varnashram. Do your
与
duty.
此同时呢，你还留在自己的位置上，还是遵循 Varna Ashram 制度。
So the thing is, Varnashram is not transcendental.
Varna Ashram 制度它并不是超然的。
It's for the material world.
它并不是超然于这个物质世界。
But devotional service is transcendental.
现在不是。
Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he's from the spiritual world. Haribol, Saradia,
Sorry, Maria.
are you okay? Have you got your mic? Haribol?
Can you repeat?
Yeah, I said Caitanya Mahaprabhu is from the spiritual world, and he's come to spread the Sankirtan movement, which comes from the spiritual world.
陈达摩他来自灵性世界，他来传播是散开的运动，散开的运动也是来自灵性世界的。
So he wants to hear about the spiritual activities.
所以他就想去听到一些灵性的活动。
But if we just offer the results, if we say do everything as an offering, so people may offer to anybody. They may offer to Shiva, they may offer to Vishnu, they may not know who is the Supreme.
如果只是把活动的结果供奉的话，有的人可能可以把这活动结果供奉给西方，供奉给其他的人，那不一定知道这个至尊者是谁。
So when he said offer the results, it's not clear what exactly we should do.
那所以当说到要供奉的活动的结果，并不是太清楚，你应该做什么，那点并不是特别清楚。
So Lord Caitanya said, this is also external. You have to go further.
所以这个大王说，这也是外在的，你应该更进一步。
So then Ramananda Rai gave another verse from Bhagavad Gita that we should give up all our duties in the Varnashram.
对，然后呢，也是我们要放歌中的另外一个世界，说我们应该放弃我们在 Vana Ashram 制度中的职责。
He said, this is perfection.
他说这是完美。
So, that's a famous verse in the Bhagavad Gita,
这是北方中一个非常著名的世界。
where Krishna says, surrender everything to me, give up everything, surrender to me.
为什么说你放弃一切职责，然后向我臣服？
But this is still not satisfying Lord Caitanya,
但是这还是不能让大家的老满意，
because people may surrender for some material reason.
因为人们可能会因为一些物质的原因而去臣服皈依 Krishna。
Some people think becoming a devotee means have an easy place, have a good place to eat and sleep.
有一些人觉得成为可以有个好的地方吃饭睡觉。
They think, one man came, he said, I want to surrender, and they asked why. He said, I want to get away from my wife and family. I have many children. I don't want to stay at home and take care of them.
有的人说，我想皈依成 Krishna， 我想离开家，而且我有好多孩子，我不想待在家里照顾这些孩子。
And so Lord Chaitanya said, well, this is still not pure devotional service.
但是他们说，这仍然还不是纯粹的奉献服务。
Because people may surrender, but their motive is not to please Krishna.
因为人们有时候他们会皈依臣服，但是他的动机不是只有 Krishna。
So Lord Chaitanya asked him, go ahead and say something more.
然后他就说，你继续讲，再说些别的。
So then Ramananda Roy said, devotional service with knowledge is the essence.
人们来就说，就是怀着知识来做奉献服务是精髓。
And he said, this is from Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma Nasochati Nakanchati Samasarveshu Bhuteshu Madbhaktim Labhate Param. Also 18th chapter, where Lord Krishna is saying that one who is transcendentally situated realizes the Brahman. Haribol?
这也是佛家分宗18章中的一个师节。Krishna 说，在场面的时候，然后就会从事奉献服务，然后就立刻就达到。
Right. So this is still not yet pure devotional service. This is bhakti. This is jnana bhakti. This is devotion mixed with knowledge. It's not pure devotion.
这仍然不是纯粹的奉献服务，这是混杂有知识的这种奉献服务，而不是纯粹的奉献服务。
So Lord Chaitanya wants to hear a verse which describes just pure devotional service.
所以刚才我们讲听到我们的可以去描述这奉献服务。
So Ramananda Rai has a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto. And
然后人们也是把这番加法的第10篇。
and he describes this, he quotes this verse, that one should simply remain in whatever position one is in.
说一个人应该就是永远保留在他不管他处在什么样的位置，就保留在那个位置。
And he should be in the association of devotees and hear about Krishna.
他应该就是处在和奉献的联谊当中，然后去聆听关于 Krishna 的话题。
And he should follow the principles of devotion.
他应该去遵循众爱的。
And in this way, he said, Krishna said, in this way you can conquer me.
这样的话，Krishna说你就可以征服我。
Although Krishna is never conquered, he becomes conquered by the pure devotion of his devotees.
虽然 Krishna 他是不可征服的，但是他就可以被用奉献的纯粹奉爱所征服。
So when Lord Caitanya heard this, he said, ah, yes, this is pure devotion. You don't need to change your situation. Just stay where you are and hear about Krishna. Okay, we will stop here. Are there any questions?
我们现在就讲到这儿，有没有谁有什么问题？ Here, when they went to Radharani, have a question. She asked, Tadalapu asked Ramanarani only bring one servant with him. Why he doesn't want Ramanarani bring many people to hear about Krishna?
Well, Lord Caitanya gave reasons why he didn't want to take many people with him. Yeah, he told Lord Nityananda, he said, you know, he said, I gave you my danda, my sannyasi rod, you lost it.
She asked why Chanamapu didn't want Ramananda Roy to bring many people with him.
Ramananda Roy? Huh? Ramananda Roy didn't want it. Oh.
First meeting, Ramananda Roy, many Brahmana, many people follow him.
Oh, okay.
In the evening,
yeah, because Lord Caitanya saw these Brahmanas who were with Ramananda Rai, they did not understand the transcendental nature of the relationship between Lord Caitanya and Ramananda Rai. They were materialistic Brahmins. And Lord Caitanya wants to talk about confidential things, which these people will not understand. All of these other people, they were not devotees. And Lord Caitanya is going to speak to Ramananda Rai. They're going to discuss things which are quite advanced, very advanced. So Lord Caitanya doesn't want them present when he's talking to Ramananda Rai. Just like when Lord Caitanya was discussing topics of Krishna, very confidential topics of Krishna, he only talked with 3 devotees, 3.5 devotees. 3 men and 1 woman.
真的当当讨论那些非常高深激励的关于无神体质的时候，然后他只和3个半人讨论。
One was Ramananda Rai, and the other 2.
一个是 Ramananda
The other one was Swarup Damodar.
还有一个 Swarup Damodar.
And then one man called Sikhi Mahiti.
然后还有 Sikhi Mahiti.
And the woman was the sister of Sikhi Mahiti.
另外一个是一个女士，是 Sikhi Mahiti 她的妹妹。
姐姐。姐姐。
姐姐 elder sister。是姐姐。
So they were very senior, very confidential associates of Lord Caitanya. Lord Caitanya would talk about Krishna to them. He wouldn't just talk to everyone. But for the ordinary people, there would be kirtan, chanting of the holy name. Let everybody chant the holy name and hear about Krishna. Hear about Krishna from the Bhagavad Gita. First they have to learn the basic things. Before they could hear all the advanced knowledge, they have to hear the basic things. Haribol? Haribol? Haribol?
Madhya Lila 那边是不是有问题了？图拉西科皮纳的，你可以开话筒接嘛？又上来了。Madhya Lila。
等一下，Hare Krishna, sorry, just now my connection not steady. 现在可以了吗？现在能听到吗？
可以听到，现在可以。
Okay. Please continue, Maharaj.
Okay, are there any more questions?
还有没有其他的问题？你的问题是什么？说到人事的范，就是说出版之后没有，然后跟封建9年以军事援助，对他的形状、写的情况，增加了这些东西，但除增加这些东西呢，没有所有全新的，是。You mentioned the last verse Ramananda quoted is that when one person need not to change his situation, just need to be situated in an association of devotee and hear about Krishna and other devotional activity. So does that mean that we just need to add Krishna consciousness in our life, and no need to change our situation yet?
Right. We don't need to, we don't make advancement just by changing the situation abruptly.
我们不需要去 变我们外在的这种环境，然后变得进步。
Sometimes people think, oh, I cannot make advancement in this ashram, I have to change my ashram.
有的人觉得我在我现在的这个 ashram 当中，我现在的这个阶段，我是不能进步的，所以我要改变我的这个 ashram 的灵性境界啊。
They're not chanting regularly, they're not hearing regularly, and they think if I change my ashram, I will make advancement. It's not true.
他们就是不去经常的聆听和唱诵，但是他觉得自己只要改变自己的灵性境界，然后就可以取得进步了。其实这样是不对的。
So, Lord Chaitanya's associates, many of them were in the householder ashram.
释迦牟尼的朋友很多都是居士阶层。
Lord Nityananda, Advaita, Srivas, they're all householders.
像 Nityananda, Advaita 还有 Srivas， 他们都是居士。
And Chandrasekhar, Tapana Mishra, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, they're all householders.
Tapana Mishra, Chandrasekhar, 他们都是居士。
They're all very advanced devotees.
他们都是非常进步的奉献。
Ramananda Rai is a householder. He's a very, very advanced.
Ramananda Rai 也是居士。
So Lord Chaitanya is showing that it's not the ashram which is important. What's important is that we engage in activities of hearing and chanting.
所以，禅宗他们认为，就是住在什么样的灵性阶段，那个 ashram 是不重要的，重要的是我们要去做这些聆听和唱诵的活动，奉献的活动。
So Lord Chaitanya did not approve of people just changing their... Just like we saw, Lord Chaitanya, when he was at Kurma Kshetra, the Brahmana wanted to leave his home and go with Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya said, no, this is not the way.
但就像在 Kurma Kshetra 刚才我们讲到的，就是那个 Kurma Brahmana 他想跟随禅南巴布离开家庭。但禅南巴布说不是不能，你不能这么做，这样是不对的。
Of course, if one is in old age and if one has been practicing and preparing for renouncing the home, then you can do it.
当然，如果一个人就是年龄已经很大了，然后一直也都在做准备，然后这时候是可以离开家的。
An older age, your material responsibilities are reduced, then you can take up more spiritual responsibility.
当你年事已高的时候，你物质的职责逐渐的减少，然后可以去增加一些灵性的活动、灵性的职责。
Okay?
可以吗？Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Hayo Ventima? Chitadiren?
See. Yes, they are asking here. 顶拜孤儿，顶拜关于不困见，圣帕帕的说，关于玩的阿爽还有一半没有完成，如何恰当理解和实现帕帕的这个愿望？So, Srila Prabhupada is our accept my businesses word. Srila Prabhupada said that about Varna Ashram, we still have half to complete. So how to properly understand and practice and fulfill Srila Prabhupada's desire, this desire.
So Prabhupada was concerned for those people who cannot follow the regulative principles.
他们非常关心那些不能就是追随规范原遵循规范原则的人。
That they should be given some opportunity to progress, and the way in which they can progress is by following Varnashram.
他们应该有个程序让他们逐渐取得进步。这个取得进步的一个方法就是遵循 Varna Ashram 制度。
It provides some engagement, practical engagement for people who are not able to just live in the temple and be brahmacharis or sannyasis and pujaris. They have to do something different.
所以对于那些没办法就是住在庙里做 brahmachari 或者 sannyasi 或者是做 pujari 服务的人呢，应该给他们让他们有所从事，让他们取得进步。
So, in other words, finding some suitable work for people that they can be engaged, they can maintain their family, they can have a job, they can earn some income, and they can have some association with devotees.
所以就是让人们有所从事，然后给他们一种方法，让他们能够就是去有一些收入，然后能够维系家庭，然后也得到奉献人的联谊，从事一些服务。
This way, then they can gradually advance.
这样的话，他们逐渐就能够取得进步。
Gradually, they can try to, they can. Maybe they're not able to follow 4 principles, they're not able to chant 16 rounds, but they're able to come closer to devotional service.
可能他们还不能就是去遵循4个规范原则，不能唱诵到16圈，但是他们还是能够接近奉献服务的。
So this is some work. This is still going on within ISKCON. We're trying to implement more opportunities, more varnashram situations, provide more engagement for people that they can be somehow connected to Krishna consciousness.
所以在我们ISKCON，我们也是在努力的去创造一些机会，给人们能够有所从事，让他们能够做些服务，这样的话能让他们在逐渐的世界中取得进步。
Okay, is there any other question?
So far no other question. 会见者还有其他的问题吗？现在？
Okay, so we can stop here.
那我们今天就到这里结束。
We'll continue from this point tomorrow. Tomorrow morning.
明天早上继续。
Tomorrow 早上 yeah?
早上11点半 11:30 same.
Okay. Same time. Yeah. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki. Gaur Premanandi. Ding Bai Funkshiander.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.